What up, peeps? It's Jenny. So recently I was shopping at Macy's. I answered the phone, my friend called me, and she was like, where are you? I'm like, oh, I'm at Burdine's. I mean, Macy's. I'm like, damn. So I decided to compile different department stores, retail stores from my childhood that no longer exist or were absorbed into another company or bought by another company, yada yada. I guess I should start with Burdine's. Okay, so Burdine's took over Jordan Marsh's Florida stores in 1991. Ta-da, Burdine's. That's where Burdine's became a huge presence in Florida. Florida. Eventually, Burdine's converted into Macy's in 2005. I feel like it's never been the same though. And now it's just Macy's. Macy's. Jay Byron's. Whoa, like that's one of those names that just hits you. You're like, what the hell? That was a thing. That was a thing, and I put it in the back of my mind in a little cajita, chiquitica, mira. Now, I don't remember the store at all. I remember the name. It's a Miami-based department store chain that actually started off as a pharmacy. Some people still remember it as Jackson Byron. Some people call it Jay Byron's. Then it just goes to Byron's. It's kind of like the evolution of Puff Daddy's name. Yes, I still call him Puff Daddy. Too bad.
There's no other store like Byron's. Jay Byron's. Your neighborhood department store.
The chain eventually was sold to Upton's. I don't think the store lasted that long. I just remember the commercials I would see on TV and the jingles that would play over and over again on the radio. Upton's, just what you're looking for. Just what you're looking for. Upton's, just what you're looking for. That song never left me. It has remained in my memory bank all these years. That's how much they drilled that into you. ¿Y para qué? It didn't even last that long. You know how I slipped up with the whole Burdine's Macy's thing? I frequently slip up with the whole Eckerd Drugs CVS thing. And I don't know, there's just something about looking at a photo of an old Eckerd Drugs store that warms my corazón. Like that to me was childhood. I know this is really lame because it's freaking Eckerd Drugs. It's a pharmacy where you just go to buy toenail clippers and Viva Porru. But still. Yep, in 2004. Is when it gave itself over to CVS, which I don't even know what that stands for still. My abuela would call it Eckerd Drugs. Voy a comprar las pastillas. And Eckerd Drugs. Lionel PlayWorld. Wow. I grew up just calling it PlayWorld, and it was a fuzzy transition between PlayWorld and Toys R Us. I used to think it was the same store, and then they closed down, and then it was all about Toys R Us, and then eventually you would work there and become very bitter. PlayWorld closed in the early 90s.
So I was still a little person.
Diamonds. So my mom loved this store. In fact, I think that's where she got most of our first communion stuff. Porque ellos tenían de todo. To me, Diamonds was like the Kuwanichi love child of Michael's and Party City. Because you could find everything there, including las muñequitas esa, the porcelain quinceañera dolls that you put on the cake, and they're like arts and crafts, party supplies. So if any of you happen to know ¿Qué carajo le pasó a Diamonds? Please let me know. Luria's. That was another mom favorite. I have a really vague memory of my mom returning a toaster there. I mean, it was a pretty big chain. Probably not as big as Flavor Flav's, but it was big. Mom jokes. It opened in Florida in 1961, and it was a big hit in the 70s and 80s. Woo! Woo! You know how now music sounds like there's like an auto-tuned baby in it? Well, back then it was a... I would rather take that any day over these like auto-tuned babies. I don't know what's going on. Luria's sold jewelry and home furnishings. And it was cheap or something, right? It was really cheap. And I can see why it was a pretty big hit in Miami, porque la gente siempre quieren descuento. They don't want to spend a lot of money on their freaking third aunt que habla mierda. So get her a toaster from Luria's. Unfortunately, by 1996, Luria's went bye-bye. No more Luria's. FAO Schwarz. Okay, this is a big one. For me, as a Miamian, FAO Schwarz was at Sunset Place, and it closed down, like everything else in Sunset Place. So FAO Schwarz has a long, lovely American history. It started in 1862, and it was once the oldest toy store in the US. And when it comes to this place, most of us think of the Tom Hanks movie, Big. It was July 2015, not that long ago, that the very last one closed and broke many a heart. The last memory I have in that store was me actually getting kicked out. Gotta love high school. And if you're in high school right now, you're probably an idiot too. But I love you. So if you guys have any more to add to the list, reminisce with me. And if anyone knows why diamonds closed down, someone tell me. Thank you guys again for watching me talk. I love you. What an ugly heart.